2. Quoted abbreviations source, howtostudykorean.com. Below is a list of vocabularies to be used in this lesson. Nouns.
혼잡,
Means congestion.
교통 혼잡,
Means traffic jam.
글씨,
Means handwriting.
체격,
Means person's physical build.
앞줄,
Means front row.
야시장,
Means night market.
결혼기념일,
Means wedding anniversary day.
미역국,
Means seaweed soup.
노인,
Means old man.
연간,
Means annual.
말이,
Means counter for animals. Verbs.
떠오르다,
Means to come into somebody's head.
삶다,
Means to boil.
조퇴하다,
Means to leave work early.
징수하다,
Means to collect money, fees.
붙잡다,
Means to hold on to detain.
인상하다,
Means to raise a price.
삭감하다,
Means to lower a payment.
달성하다,
Means to achieve a goal.
섬기다,
Means to work for serve a master.
부활하다,
Means to revive. Adjectives.
훌륭하다,
Means to be excellent. Adverbs and other verbs.
예순,
Means 60.
혹은,
Means or. Introduction. In this lesson, you will learn more ways to abbreviate Korean sentences. In the previous lesson, you learned about common ways that Korean people shorten their sentences in messaging or when talking on the internet. In this lesson, you will learn how to abbreviate conjugations of quoted sentences. Let's get started. Conjugating.
는다고 하다 투한데,
In lesson 52, you started learning about quoted sentences and how you can add
는다고,
to indicate that something is said, written, thought. The predicating verb is typically something like
말하다,
to speak,
생각하다,
to think, or some other verb that can indicate that words or thoughts were expressed. For example, when quoted in the present tense,
아들은 바나나를 좋아한다고 해요.
our son says that he likes bananas. The same thing can be done with adjectives in the present tense, but remember the different rules for quoting adjectives from lesson 52, and more generally for conjugating adjectives in general from lesson 5. For example,
저의 친구들은 저의 여자친구가 예쁘다고 해요.
my friends say that my girlfriend is pretty. In both of those situations, with verbs and adjectives, the construction of
다고 해요.
can be contracted to.
돼요.
See how this abbreviation is done by examining the sentences below, which are adapted to reflect this new grammatical principle.
아들은 바나나를 좋아한대요.
Our son says that he likes bananas.
저의 친구들은 저의 여자친구가 예쁘대요.
My friends say that my girlfriend is pretty. The tense of the quoted clause, the tense of the clause before,
다고 해요.
is irrelevant,
돼요.
is a contraction of.
다고 해요.
So it doesn't matter if the part before
다고 해요.
is
한, 했,
or,
하겠,
in other words,
한다고 해요.
can contract to,
한대요 했다고 해요.
can contract to,
했대요 하겠다고 해요.
can contract to.
하겠대요.
The sentences from before show examples where the quote, regardless of the action within the quote, is made in the present tense to say that something is said. For example,
아들은 바나나를 좋아한대요.
our son says that he likes bananas.
저의 친구들은 저의 여자친구가 예쁘대요.
My friends say that my girlfriend is pretty. The underlined endings used above are contractions of.
다고 해요.
Oftentimes, quoted sentences indicate that something was said. For example,
그는 밥을 벌써 먹었다고 했어요.
he said that he already ate.
야시장에 가기 싫다고 했어요.
He said that he doesn't want to go to the night market. In theory,
다고 했다.
or any of its derivatives like
했어요.
or
했어.
can be contracted to,
됐다.
or any of its derivatives like
됐어요.
or.
됐어.
For example,
그는 밥을 벌써 먹었댔어요.
he said that he already ate.
야시장에 가기 싫댔어요.
He said that he doesn't want to go to the night market. That being said, even if the speaker wants to indicate that the quote was spoken in the past, it is still common to use the present tense contraction.
되어,
When using these contractions, you are relaying what somebody else has already said. Therefore, by default, the spoken portion of the sentence is already in the past. As a result, even if you use the present tense contraction,
되어,
context can indicate that this quote was spoken in the past. You might be looking at this and thinking, wait a minute, he showed us examples at the beginning of the lesson where the spoken portion of the sentence occurs in the present. Look at those sentences again.
아들은 바나나를 좋아한대요.
Our son says that he likes bananas. Maybe your son likes bananas now, but when did he say that? In order for you to know that he said it, and to be conveying it as is the purpose of this sentence, you must have heard this in the past.
저의 친구들은 저의 여자친구가 예쁘대요.
My friends say that my girlfriend is pretty. Maybe your friends say that your girlfriend is pretty now, but when did they say that? In order for you to know that they said it, and to be conveying it as is the purpose of this sentence, you must have heard this in the past. Therefore, although the Korean sentences shown in the present tense shown at the beginning of the lesson are grammatically correct, their English translations could be interpreted into the past or present tense. It doesn't really matter. Let's look at some other examples of this abbreviation.
오빤 점심이 맛있대.
My brother says that lunch is delicious.
오빠는 점심이 맛있다고 해서 학생들은 시험이 너무 어렵대요.
The students said that the exam was too difficult.
학생들은 시험이 너무 어렵다고 해서요. 여자친구는 여행을 곧 하고 싶대요.
My girlfriend says that she wants to go traveling soon.
여자친구는 여행을 곧 하고 싶다고 해서요. 그 남자는 한국말을 조금만 할 수 있대.
He says that he can only speak Korean a little bit.
그 남자는 한국말을 조금만 할 수 있다고 해서 아버지는 열쇠를 잃어버렸대요.
Dad said that he lost his keys.
아버지는 열쇠를 잃어버렸다고 해서요. 친구는 내일부터 중국어 공부를 시작하겠대요.
My friend said that he is going to start studying Chinese from tomorrow.
친구는 내일부터 중국어 공부를 시작하겠다고 했어요.
This abbreviation can only be used when you are relaying a quote that was said by another person. For example, it would be unnatural to say something like this.
우리가 가기 전에 나는 배고프대.
These contractions, and the ones discussed below, are very common in speech, but you will almost never see them written, unless it is a direct quote of what somebody said. Note that because of the way these constructions are pronounced, specifically with verbs in the present tense, to an untrained ear they could be very easily mistaken for
는데,
which you studied in lessons 76 and 77. This contraction can be applied to
이다.
but the rules are a little bit different. Let's look at this next. Abbreviating quoted sentences with
이다.
this same type of contraction can be done to abbreviate quoted sentences ending in
이다.
In lesson 52, you learned how to quote with verbs, adjectives and
이다.
I don't want to get too much into those rules again. You can check out lesson 52 if you are not sure, but in general you learned that when quoting a sentence that ends in
이다. 물결이라고.
can be added to the final noun. For example,
그 사람은 선생님이라고 해요.
that person says he is a teacher.
너무 어려운 문제라고 해요.
He says it is a difficult problem question, comma,
이라고 해요.
can abbreviate it to.
이래요.
For example,
그 사람은 선생님이래요.
that person says he is a teacher.
너무 어려운 문제래.
He says it is a difficult problem question. As we saw earlier in the lesson, oftentimes, quoted sentences indicate that something was said. For example,
그 사람은 선생님이라고 했어요.
that person said he is a teacher.
너무 어려운 문제라고 했어요.
He said it is a difficult problem question, in theory,
이라고 했다.
or any of its derivatives like,
했어요.
or,
했어.
can be contracted to,
이랬다.
or any of its derivatives like,
랬어요.
or.
랬어.
For example,
그 사람은 선생님이랬어요.
that person said he is a teacher.
너무 어려운 문제랬어.
He said it is a difficult problem question. That being said, even if the speaker indicates that the quote occurred in the past tense, it is still common to use the present tense contraction.
이래요.
For example,
그 사람은 선생님이래요.
that person says he is a teacher.
너무 어려운 문제래.
He says it is a difficult problem question. In lesson 9, you learned how to create the indication of future tense by adding
을 것이다.
to a noun. For example,
저는 밥을 먹을 것이에요.
I will eat rice.
저는 밥을 먹을 거예요.
I will eat rice, as the final conjugating word of these types of sentences is,
이다, 이래요.
can be used to abbreviate these types of sentences when they are quoted. For example,
슬기가 내일 학교에 갈 것이에요.
Sulji will go to school tomorrow, or
슬기가 내일 학교에 갈 거예요.
Sulji will go to school tomorrow.
슬기가 내일 학교에 갈 것이라고 했어요.
Sulji said that she will go to school tomorrow, or
슬기가 내일 학교에 갈 거라고 했어요.
Sulji said that she will go to school tomorrow.
슬기가 내일 학교에 갈 것이래요.
Sulji said that she is going to school tomorrow, or
슬기가 내일 학교에 갈 거래요.
Sulji said that she is going to school tomorrow. More examples.
친구를 만나러 갈 거래.
He said that he is going to go meet a friend.
친구를 만나러 갈 거라고 해서 교장 선생님은 밖에 식사를 하실 거래요.
The principal said that she is going to go out for lunch dinner.
교장 선생님은 밖에 식사를 하실 거라고 하셨어요.
Due to the similar structure with quoted sentences with
이다.
Lesson 52, and quoted imperative sentences. Lesson 54, the abbreviated forms of both look very similar. Let's talk about this next. Full stop. Abbreviating a quoted imperative sentence. In Lesson 54, you learned how add
으라고.
to quote an imperative sentence. For example,
엄마가 빨리 오라고 했어요.
Mom said come quick.
엄마가 천천히 먹으라고 했어요.
Mom said eat slowly.
여자친구는 비싼 반지를 사라고 했어요.
My girlfriend said buy an expensive ring. Again, the final.
했어요.
In the sentences above are conjugated in the past tense. When abbreviating this, context allows it to often be used in the present tense. I talked about this already in the two previous sections. These quoted imperative sentences can also be abbreviated. The manner in which it is done is very similar to how quoted sentences with
이다.
are abbreviated. When abbreviating quoted imperative sentences,
으라고 해요.
can abbreviate to.
으래요.
The three sentences above can be abbreviated to.
엄마가 빨리 오래요.
Mom said come quick.
엄마가 천천히 먹으래요.
Mom said eat slowly.
여자친구가 비싼 반지를 사래.
My girlfriend said buy an expensive ring. Before we finish, let's look at how abbreviating
자,
and
느냐,
is done. Abbreviating
자고 하다,
and.
냐고 하다.
In lesson 44, you learned how to add
자,
to a verb to suggest that an action be done together. For example,
밥을 먹자.
let's eat.
내일 공원에 가자.
Tomorrow, let's go to the park. In lesson 53, you also learned that you can quote these types of sentences by attaching
고,
to.
자.
For example,
아빠가 밥을 먹자고 했어.
Dad said let's eat.
여자친구가 공원에 가자고 했어.
My girlfriend said let's go to the park.
자고 해요.
Can abbreviate it to.
재요.
For example, again, technically,
자고 했어요.
can abbreviate to.
쟀어요.
When abbreviating this, context allows it to often be used in the present tense. For example,
아빠가 밥을 먹재요.
Dad said let's eat.
여자친구가 공원에 가재.
My girlfriend said let's go to the park. In lesson 53, you also learned that you can quote questions by using
느냐고,
for a verb and
으냐고.
for an adjective. For example,
그 여자가 예쁘냐고 물어봤어요 했어요.
he asked is the girl pretty. In these cases,
냐고 물어보다 하다.
can be contracted to.
예.
For example,
그는 여자가 예쁘니.
he asked is the girl pretty. This type of grammar often shows up on the topic tests. Back when the intermediate test still existed, a question like this would be quite common. Which of the following is incorrect? 1.
엄마는 나한테 밥을 많이 먹지 말래. 2. 엄마는 나한테 밥을 먹재. 3. 엄마는 나한테 밥이 있네. 4. 엄마는 밥을 빨리 먹었대 했어. 5. 엄마는 밥을 먹을 거래.
The answer being number 4.
했어.
Shouldn't be placed after
먹었대.
because
먹었다.
already includes this conjugation. That's it for this lesson. For more info, please visit howtostudykorean.com.